Well, hello and welcome back to the House of Valentina. I'm Valentina, and today we're going to be talking about 2023's biggest trends. I'm so excited about this video because I love to follow trends. I also love to avoid things that are way too trendy. So today we're going to be talking about trends that have longevity to them. These are not those trends that you see on TikTok and that they're there for just a moment, but these are the things that you're going to want to be using to decorate your home in 2023 and in many years to come. I think you're going to love these. I think you're going to want to use them in your own home, and it's just going to get you excited about decorating your house and making it into a home. I hope that sounds like fun to you. I know I definitely love to chat about all things interiors. So if you love that, make sure you hit subscribe. Give the video a big thumbs up if you love trends that are meant to last a long time. And cheers, you guys. Let's jump into today's video. All right, trend number one. Trend number one is English country heritage. I just absolutely love this style. It just feels really good. It's one of those styles that really just never goes away. It's always there. And I think it's because it is a celebration of heritage. English country heritage is all, I gotta set my coffee down. English country heritage is all about that manor style. It's all about the color palette with those warm neutrals and rich warm wood tones. It's about elegance and sophistication. It's all about expansive gardens and beautiful entryways, and it's about studies. And this style is one that you could easily jump onto, and you don't have to completely, you don't have to move to the English countryside to have this style. You can bring a lot of these elements into your home no matter where you live. Some of my favorite ways to bring this style into the home is through accessories. Start small, start with accessories. You can have a beautiful rustic vase also mixed with something that is made of silver. You really can mix something that's really rustic also with something that's very pristine and very elevated. That's what this style is all about. It's about a sophistication and also an approachability. It's elegant, but it's also everyday. Another easy way to use this style is to switch up your textiles. Gorgeous linen drapery, pleated at the top, really traditional style. You can also do a beautiful velvet. These materials look amazing, and when you invest your money into them, you'll find that this is something that you're going to keep for many, many years. I also think that wood, that's right, wood curtain rods, we're gonna be seeing those come back with this style, wooden rings and really gorgeous classic pleated curtains. It's something that just lasts forever. You can also do some patterns with this style. I love to use tartans. I think that some really classic plaids look amazing. You can go with something that has a little bit more of a fall look to it with a fall plaid, something that has a little bit more of a Christmassy feel to it. That's what I associate with, so many of us do, associate tartans with Christmas. But you can also go with a really neutral plaid that really has that sort of longevity over the seasons. I think the color palette for this style is one that really sets the stage overall. So if you really love this style, you might want to think about adding creamy whites, pale beiges, light taupes. Those are colors that you can use on your wall. They're colors that you can use on your furnishings. You'll also want to think about those rich wood tones, maybe adding in a rich wood toned coffee table or maybe a dresser. You can also think about your dining room and adding in a beautiful sideboard or even a china cabinet. Those are going to be making a comeback in this style. Wood paneling really sets this style apart, and it's one that really makes it so appealing to so many of us because it adds a richness and an elegance to a space. It also warms up the space and makes it feel beautiful and elegant and yet still approachable. I think that it can go in a living room, it could go in an office, and you can also add in beautiful, beautiful library, bookshelves. If I could have my dream, I'd have an entire room lined with them and all that gorgeous paneling. You can do it right in the center of your home in the living room. You could also do it in a dining room or an office. You can also add bookshelves into a bedroom. This style is all about organic materials used in a very elevated and sophisticated way, and really layering on those warm neutrals. Another style that's growing in popularity is French country. And when I think of French country, I always think of French chateaus. You could definitely go with, wow, I'm sorry, it's pouring rain outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the audio, but it's pouring buckets out there. But one of the styles that I think is really beautiful is French country, and really focus more on the chateau style. This sort of richness of culture, that sort of elevated style, that manor look is something that we can actually replicate in our homes. We don't have to have a manor in order to have that style in our homes. And so when you think about that French chateau, think about how sophisticated it feels. Think about the beautiful color palettes of the exteriors and how you can pull that into the interior. I love the formal gardens of this style. I think that it just is so inviting and just very chic at the same time. Boxwoods are a beautiful way of adding that sophistication to the exterior of the home. And then as you enter, you're going to find, I know this is going to be quite shocking, but you're going to find that what you're going to start seeing is a lot more of the Baroque style. You're going to see a lot more of the Louis XVI style. You're going to start seeing a lot of those classic French country, very sophisticated high pieces included in places even like CB2. You're gonna start seeing oil paintings and a lot of those silver pieces and ornate designs on all of your furnishings. It's gonna be a big shift. You can really create a modern look with this style by bringing in a more ornate piece, but keeping the surroundings a little bit more pared back. It's a beautiful way of keeping that modernness in this style and helping it to feel relevant to our lives today, but also bringing in that beautiful sophistication and that warmth of that style. I think you could also add in a lot of velvets. You can start to add in more patterns through florals. All of that French country chateau style is gonna be really popular, and I love it. You guys are gonna have to let me know what you think, if it's freaking you out or getting you really excited, because I think it's exciting and I think it's really fun to incorporate those elements into our homes. You can also take this style and add in just some simple accessories, things like busts, a beautiful tray, silver. Also think about the chandeliers in this style. I always think of those beautiful chandeliers and those French chateaus. Lighting going more ornate is a pretty big deal, and I think we're ready for it. We've been doing really clean line, really pared back lighting for a really long time, and I think we're gonna start seeing a pushback to more ornate lighting, just more of everything, more crystals, more designs in them, whether it's a scroll or a leaf or a flower. All those things just look absolutely amazing in our homes. And since we have a very pared back style, so many of us right now, those things really shine and they become really big showpieces. So those are just a few fun ways to very quickly be able to use this style. But of course you could also just, you know, go full immersion and create that full chateau look. I'm not opposed to that either. After many, many years of minimal style, talking about minimal Scandinavian, Japandi, and all these styles that are all about getting rid of everything you own and having almost nothing and paring everything back, it's probably gonna come as a little bit of a shock that maximalism is actually making a huge comeback. But I'm actually really excited about this because I have found for myself that when I pare my home back so far, it just starts to feel empty to me. It just starts to feel a little bit soulless. It starts to feel a little bit empty, and I don't feel at home in it. And I wonder if there's other people that feel like that too. And so what I think you're gonna start seeing is that maximalism is going to start making a huge comeback. The words more is more are gonna be words that you're gonna be hearing a lot more. And I think that's actually a lot of fun, because what it means is we can stop shoving everything into our cabinets and actually just start displaying it and pulling things out. It doesn't mean that we have to become full-on hoarders, be on the next TLC show, but it does mean that we can pull our stuff out and not feel like we have to stuff everything away. I think easy ways also are to put more pictures up on your wall. Bring more of your books out and display them on shelves. Think about having some glass front cabinets where you can actually see your things inside of them. Also think about the walls themselves. Instead of having all of these clean lines on the walls, a lot like that English heritage in the French country, we're going to start seeing a lot more ornate millwork coming back. I am here for it. I'm just tired of the walls just being plain. I really love things like toile wallpaper. I love scenic wallpaper. I love ornate millwork in the home. I trim work and so much of that stuff that everyone's been tearing out of the houses. I think that a lot of us are going to start saying, no, we want it back in. We want it back in. Don't rip it out. Let's put some more in. Let's do more is more on our homes, because when we take everything out and we just end up with a blank box and almost no trim work or any trim work, it just starts to feel a little bit empty. And so I think it's exciting. I think that I've been reading a book called The American Renaissance, and it's all about that American tradition of having all the ornate paintings and architecture, and I just absolutely love it. I think neoclassical style is one that kind of blends throughout these styles and throughout these trends, and it's just beautiful. The furnishings, the wallpapers, the architecture, that style is just beautiful. So yeah, so neoclassical, maximal, English countryside, French countryside. Anybody else getting excited? Because I know I am. I'm like, yay! I love it. I love it. So I love layering silver pieces into my home, and I have just found myself calling my mom up and, Mom, I want my china back. Thank you for holding on to those Waterford crystal glasses. I want that stuff in my home and I want to use it. And I think that's what makes it so exciting, is that it's a way of life. If you really think about these styles, it's about having your china patterns and your crystal and your silverware and having a couple different ones of them that you can mix and match, having lots of pillows on the sofa instead of just one or two, and mixing up some patterns into that, really just adding more. And so the fun thing about this is that it means that if you already have a great baseline with your style, you can just start adding on to it. So yes, installing new chandeliers that are a little bit more ornate will be a little bit more work, but you can also just add some table lamps, just a little bit more ornate, something that just adds more light and a little bit more interest to your home. I think it's gorgeous. I'm so excited, I almost can't stand it. I'm like, can we please just jump into decorating this year? I can't wait. It's gonna be so much fun to use these styles and explore them and figure out what we love and add busts and books and vases, and oh, I can't wait. Okay, next one. So when we start to use a very maximal approach and we're adding all of these layers of millwork and pattern and all these things, it can become a lot if you do it in a lot of color. And so I think that the way in which we're going to be using these styles the most is actually with a very neutral palette. We've been talking about this neutral palette for a really long time. I don't think that neutral palettes really ever go out of style. It's something that's really here to stay. And it's something that really stands the test of time. And I think that a neutral palette with warm brown undertones is what we're really going to be seeing. That's why you're gonna be seeing a lot more of those woods coming back. Those wood tones paired with a really beautiful brown taupe color are just absolutely gorgeous. I think that brass, warm brass, gorgeous gold picture frames with like a matte nickel, these are things that we're really gonna start seeing come back, and it's really exciting because I don't know about you, but I'm ready for something besides just a plain black frame. I really want some more, and I want to layer that on. So take the black frames that you already have and add on some more warm tones through brass and nickel to really just elevate that space and elevate your color palette. Think about changing out the color in your walls, moving towards a much warmer white, creams, beiges, taupes, all those colors just look absolutely amazing. Now, of course, I can't talk about a neutral color palette and not talk about black, because I still feel like black has a place in a neutral color palette. It's what really anchors that style. It's what really anchors the palette. It gives your eye somewhere concrete to rest. If everything in the space is just layers of whites, your eye really doesn't see any definition in the space. So as we move into this new year, think about some beautiful off blacks that really are just rich and warm. This room I just still love this color. It's Hematite by Behr, and after all these years, I just still love it because it's a really dark charcoal gray, and it feels very rich and very very sophisticated, but it's not a pure black either, and so it's softer. If you like color, do not panic, because you're going to see that the other trend that we're going to be seeing a lot more of is muted color. I just absolutely love it. Now, in fashion, you still see lots of pops of color. I think you still see it in the home too. But I think what's really going to be winning out are muted colors, because those just work seamlessly with your neutral home. I think the key to building the capsule home that we talk about all the time on this channel, this idea of creating a capsule home where you can build on your classic pieces. When you have a neutral palette, you're able to really just kind of go through a lot of trends and work through things and still end up at a style that's really usable. You end up with a lot of things that can move from room to room, and you never really tire of your stuff. So that's why I like a neutral palette. But a lot of people really love color, and even I started to use a lot more color. I started to use muted greens, really muted shades of pinks. I think that muted shades of blue are just absolutely beautiful. It's timeless. Navy blues, just that color just always works in a neutral home. You can use it in your rug, you can use it in your artwork, you can use it in your accessories, you can use it in your pillows, on your bed and on your sofa, and your blankets. These are all easy ways to incorporate muted color into your already neutral home, and then just fill it in with all of these beautiful things that can be moved from one room to the next, because you've bought those things that are classic and timeless. And that is what we're gonna wrap up with today, and that is the classic modern style. And I really feel like that style really just brings all of these ideas together, and it's become an obsession for me. It's tweed blazers and classic pairs of trousers. It's the palette, it's the paneling that never goes out of style. It's these sorts of things that no matter how much time goes by, people just still find themselves loving. That's why I've been talking about the neoclassical style. I've been talking about French country, that chateau look. We've been talking about English country. Those elements all come together, and if you put them into your home, they all sit really well together, and they really just last. It just never goes out of style. And that's what I've been really looking for myself and for my own home, because I really found that I got tired of, okay, here's the next thing of this week, here's the next trend of that week, here's what's really trending this year, and having so many things that then I feel like I needed to send off to Goodwill or sell, and I don't like that feeling. What I really wanted, what I found myself craving, is a home that is built layer upon layer, year upon year. It just develops, and the things that I've bought 5 years ago are things I still want to use. So the way about this for me, first of all, just the shell of the house itself. I think having classic design elements in your home, like all that millwork and classic beautiful trim work, it never fades. And beautiful bookshelves never go out of style. If you choose a neutral, like a warm, rich walnut, even some of those cherry finishes layered with the right colors can still look amazing just year after year. And I just love that. But also the pieces that you choose themselves, the furniture pieces, having a clean line on some of those pieces really just helps it to last forever. But you can also add in styles like that neoclassical, those things that are true to French country and English heritage. Those never really fade or go out of style. I just think that a coffee table in a warm walnut, you're just gonna want that the rest of your life. You're never really gonna tire of it. And you can mix and match the accessories on it. Grab a great vase, a classic shape that can go with lots of different floral arrangements. It can be moved from one room to the next. That's what we're talking about. A classic modern home. It's relevant to today's times, but it's using all those classical pieces that we just love. And we just can't help ourselves. We just love them, no matter how much time passes. Those are the kinds of things that I'm really looking for myself for my own home, and what I think we're gonna start seeing in really trending right now, because it's too expensive to just throw everything out and start over. Very few people have the kind of money to do that. And it's a little bit silly, it's a little bit wasteful, and with sustainability being something that we're really focused on, that's how to create a sustainable home, is to purchase things that you never want to get rid of. That's where I think things are really moving, and it's really exciting because it feels like you are really just building. I just feel like, I feel at peace. I feel at peace about it because I have found myself struggling so much over the last few years, feeling like I need to be the cool kid. I need to be whatever's on trend. I need to be doing whatever everyone else is doing. And if it's a California cool or it's laid back Scandinavian or whatever it is, like I feel like I need to be doing whatever is cool and in, and that can be exhausting. So I have just found, as I just sort of pull back and really ask myself, what is my ideal home? What do I really want? What can I purchase in 2023 for my home? And what can I do to my home in 2023 that I'm gonna want 5, 10, 20 years from now? Are there things like that that I can do? Ways in which I can invest my money into my home that will be everlasting and timeless? And that's why I think that classic design, it just comes back over and over, and why we just never really tire of it. So I'm very excited about that. We're gonna be unpacking that style literally over the course of this year. We're gonna be talking more about how to build it out, what pieces are really good to buy. We're gonna be talking about a lot more of that because this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning to get us started on our new year and this new adventure, and it's gonna be amazing. I'm literally almost shaking with excitement. I'm that excited about this, and I can't wait for the homes that we get to design with our clients, the design of our own home. For me, I feel more at home in my space than I've ever felt before. And that feeling is something that I want to share more of with you in the coming days. So make sure you hit subscribe and give the video a thumbs up if you're excited about these trends in 2023, about decorating and creating that home that you can't. Makes travel hard because all I can think about is coming home. That's a pretty amazing thing. I still love to travel, but I also can't wait to just come home and be at home in my space. And I think that's what we all just really need in this year. And so I'm very excited about being a part of this journey with you. So cheers, you guys. I can't wait for the next video. I hope to see you then. Bye. Oh, don't forget to let me know down in the comments which of these you're excited about and which one, if there's any that you're just like, absolutely not. Let me know down in the comments. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.